Hey everybody.
Today we will be talking about the modern meatpacking industry versus the industries in the turn of the century.
So, did you know that the meat industry is huge and still expanding? Currently, more than 6.2 million workers are employed in the industry. Most of the meat you eat today is produced in massive factories. In 2011, 92.3 billion pounds of meat was processed and sold.
This job is very dangerous and it has the highest casualty rate of any industry. Research shows that 540 workers were killed last year. There are also safety issues for the public. In 1996, USDA national study found that 7.5% of processed beef in supermarkets was contaminated with salmonella. That is an old study, but it is still a problem that the public faces today.
Head splitters, bone splitters, snout pullers, jaw pullers, bandsaw, and cleavers were all possible hazards that could cause serious damage to the workers. Also, knives from cutting the meat, back injury from heavy lifting, diseases spread through the swine or cattle can all cause injury, and as the workers aren't trained properly, they do not always follow the necessary safety precautions.
Today, the rate of injury in the meatpacking industry is 3 times that of the industry overall, and meatpacking was noted by the Human Rights Watch as being the most dangerous factory job in America. The meatpacking industry continues, as they did in the early 20th century, to employ many immigrant laborers, including some who are illegal or undocumented workers. Illegal workers are often treated badly since they don't have rights or the power to fight back.
A Smithfield worker who came to the United States from El Salvador told Human Rights Watch, "The company has armed police walking around the plant to intimidate us. It's especially frightening for those of us from Central America. Where we come from, the police shoot trade unionists."
Today, many of the workers are Hispanic, from Mexico, Central and South America, often illegal. This creates more problems when they have issues with the big companies. It isn't possible to get legal representation against the big companies. Since the factories are now placed out in rural areas, workers are at greater risk due to their inability to get good medical treatment.
These working conditions don't sound very different than the ones we read about in the 1900s.
The meatpacking industry hasn't changed much since the industries in the 1900s. In the 1900s, most of the working conditions weren't acceptable. Most of the workers weren't treated properly. People usually worked 14 to 16-hour days. The unskilled workers usually got about $1.25, and the skilled workers got about $3. Women and children received one-third of these prices.
The manager wanted the machines to work well. For example, in the textile mill industries, most of the people were hired to fix the machines or do jobs that the machines couldn't do. Little kids were walking under the machines to pick up teeny pieces of cotton, and bigger kids would walk above the machine to tie loose threads.
Many kids lived without an arm or leg after accidents. Also, the factory was very dusty, which would cause bad colds and coughs and different kind of lung diseases.
Overall, the meatpacking industries and some of the industries at the turn of the century are corrupt and dangerous. I hope you now have a good idea about the meat you are eating and where it's coming from.
Thanks
Thanks
for
for watching.
watching. Have
Have
a
a
nice
nice
day.
day.
I hope we didn't ruin your dinner.